What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy Hit Wesley from A Connection TV on YouTube, the one place in the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing me, definitely follow me on all social medias, Twitter and Instagram at A Connection TV. And let's get into it. If you've seen me before, you know that even though my challenge reviews get like 200 views, I still love the challenge. I love the challenge and I love Big Brother. And those are like my favorite reality shows alongside Love Island because, baby, Love Island is it for me. And I can't wait to see this reunion. And it's nice to see that even though Cordell has a sex tape out there or like is bending his butt over with his butthole exposed, that he's still able to attend the reunion and he still seems happy. I haven't seen Nicole in any of the like video posts, but hopefully there's still a thing. We shall find out. But anyway, I want to talk about the challenge, episode 1, season 40. And the title of this challenge is, let me get it right. Where are we at? So many freaking notes here. The Era Invitational, part 1. Why? Why are they stretching this out? I have no idea. Okay, but I'm geeked. I love the intro. I love the 94 champions and 40 seasons and over 400 players and all of the stats of the stats and the old scenes and the old footage and the way back when we used to be, all in the yesteryear. All of that's fantastic, right? At the same time, I'm like, can we start already? Let's have the grand entrance of TJ Lavin jumping out of a mud pit with no mud on him, or parachuting from the sky only to deliberately land at his mark so he can grab the mic and say we're back for season 40. Whatever's gonna happen, let's just have that happen, and we do, because baby, the Las Vegas Bellagio water show that they had here in Vietnam in some lake that had to be dirty was phenomenal. I thought it was great. All of the people come out of the tanker, they line up in their eras respectfully, and it's just like, wow, the budget is here. Even though Jordan said this was one of the worst seasons ever behind the scenes dealing with the production and the way that they treated them, this season is handing out $1 million. So in my mind, it's like, we don't give a damn about your conditions. Y'all are about to get paid $1 million, and a lot of y'all are probably getting paid stipends to be away from your family. Leroy, Johnny, Cara, Laurel, Jordan. Like, y'all gotta be getting paid. So I don't care about y'all's conditions. I really don't. But that's just me. All the while, I'm ecstatic to see that each era is completely stacked to the brim, minus West. And I'm like, how is this going to go? Now, in my mind, right? I don't want the eras to compete against each other. Nah, I don't want that. I want the eras, each era is competing against their own people. I don't want that. And in the bigger scope of things, I understand that that's the easiest way to shave off the fat and still allow for each era to be able to play and make it to the final. But in my mind, I'm thinking it should be each era going against each era, and there should be something that we're pulling out of the hat, and like whoever we want to choose, or whoever's the last laugh has to go against the era, and they get to pick from a ball that says which era you're going against, or whatever the case may be. I think that should be what it is. And I think what should make it more hot and like crazy is if, like, for example, let's just say Leroy and Naya are the bottom because they were last, right? But what if the winners got to decide if that's the bottom they want to have? That would bring so much drama right there, right? So let's just say we don't want Leroy and we don't want Naya to be in the bottom. We want, who is it? Avery and someone else. I can't remember everybody's right now. But we want somebody else to be in the bottom. So they swap them out, and then the new people put in the bottom have to pull out of a hat what era they're going up against. I think that would be sickening. I think that would be sickening. And yeah, we just get rid of the fat that way. You know, I think that would be hot. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I think that would be hot. I know it would be complicated for them to maintain the numbers of people in the eras if the eras go against other eras. But either way, let's talk about it. To make it to the final, they have to get through the era invitational. And I'm like, okay, that sounds legit. I'm here for that. Cool. Like, you have to battle it out in order to be considered someone that needs to make it to the final. I like that and I want that. The challenge is called Light It Up, and TJ says there are going to be 8 challengers going into elimination tonight. Or like right now. Not right now because, well, for the first era invitational. And I'm like, okay, damn. And then, like I said earlier, I'm like, that sucks that each era has to go against their own era. I don't know. I just think that sucks. But whatever. Who am I? Mark is 52 years old. Aviv hasn't been on in 18 years. She won Fresh Meat with Darrell. 40 people challenging each other is crazy from the start. Everyone is on their own. And they're running to do this puzzle. And then they have to go on this little buoy, wicker, tire, boat looking thing to grab lights and bring it back and put it in the 40. All right, yeah, we understand this is season 40. I thought that was dope how they had 40 stations laid out. This area was very vast. 40 wicker boats have to go out. And in my mind, I'm like, wow. But also, I'm like, why is it taking so long for these people to get the puzzle? Okay? Rachel has won twice. She has a wife and kids. I'm going over the stats that they, the little reels. Cara won twice. We get a Laurel and Cara rival reel, and I'm over it. I'm over the Laurel and Cara thing. I'm over it. Laurel gets her puzzle first, and CT gets his second, realizing the shapes connect inside the puzzle. That shows experience. And it's so crazy to me that so many of the era ones took so long to get their puzzle. So many people took so long. The fact that Tina beat out so many people is crazy to me. Tony is trying over and over again to say that he got the puzzle, but he didn't get the puzzle. Anissa has 26 eliminations, 13 wins. She wants to get to 14 wins. Damn, 13, 26. So 50%. 50%. That's not horrible. But geez, you've been in elimination 26 times. Jeez. Nerese got her puzzle before so many as well. And it boggles the mind why Nerese was last. I don't know. I was upset with that. Horacio says his only alliance is Nerese and Kylan. Paulie and Theo are the only ones left in their era. And, I saw this post that, Paulie was the first eliminated or whatever the case may be. And it sucks because watching the end of this and seeing Paulie go up against Theo, and it looks like Theo and Paulie are going in the hall brawl. Yeah, I think Theo's going to win that. I mean, it just makes sense that Theo is going to win that. I mean, yeah, does anybody, I know he deleted his OnlyFans, but let me get my mind back together. Laura wins era 2. Along with Johnny Bananas. Then we have CT winning era 1 along with Rachel. Then we have Michelle winning era 4 along with Horacio. And then we have, we get this real about Avery and Adam being in a couple. No one cares. Being in a couple. Being a couple. No one cares. Nerese is last and she is upset. And Horacio tries to comfort her. She doesn't want to hear it. She's like, this is embarrassing. I'm over it. And I'm like, yeah, I would be embarrassed too. If last season you beat Horacio and Kylan, and then you can't even, I would be embarrassed. And you were second in the final run. Like, she's right. I would be embarrassed too. But, who wouldn't want a man like Horacio comforting them? Like, what? Katie cries. She's embarrassed. Devin swims to get his beacons. And I'm like, wow. Devin swam to get his beacons. He said, F the ship. The ship sank. Leroy can't even, let me leave Leroy alone. Let me leave him alone. Last place, era 1, Katie and Mark. Era 2, Ryan and Kellyanne. Era 3, Leroy and Naya. What the? Era 4, Nerese and Theo. What the? You know what I'm saying? I already stated the winners, but again, we have CT and Rachel, Laura and Johnny, Corey and Tori. Shout out to Corey, baby. Shout out to Corey. I love Corey. Corey's like baby daddy. Even though he got a wife and he got a kids and he's so PG-13 and brand deals and all that, he can't be the old fiery Corey that we once loved, but he's still fine as hell. He's still fine as hell. Then we have Michelle and Horacio. Michelle beat out all the women in her era. You gotta respect that, right? Even though Michelle is shady and she was real shady last season, apparently Michelle and Olivia are like effing each other. Not really, because Olivia and Theo are together, but like what? I'm going ahead. For Michelle to compare her relationship with Olivia to Horacio and freaking Nerese's relationship, like what are you talking about? So they're effing. And, you know, Theo is like the third. And that's how I take that. I know that's not the case, but I mean, come on, Michelle. Quit. Like, what are you talking about? So they get in the house and they start their drama and politicking and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Shout out to CT's bad body. Like, whoa. Whoa. That body is, oh my God, horrible. Horrible. Like, what the hell? I could understand that. Like, is CT, like, is he with somebody? Like, does CT have kids? I don't know. CT was talking to Darrell and they were talking about how they're glad that they're not on bunk beds. And I'm like, okay, all right, but why does CT look like that? And then the bat in this castle, like, I couldn't do that. I just, what? I can't do it. Tony is trying to politic to Corey. Corey's like, I don't really care what you got to say. I don't know who I'm putting in. It's either going to be you because I don't really care for you that much, or it's either going to be Jordan. I don't know. I got to make the right decision for me because usually I play with my head, my big head, not my little one, or don't play with my big head. And I want to play it differently this time. Corey, I need you to play differently this time. Okay? You won, Corey. And I'm happy for you. Like, what? I think that is so dope. Horacio tells Nerese that she can go against whoever she wants to go against. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, Nerese, do your big one, boo-boo. Do your big one. I can't wait to see who she goes against. Johnny says being in a relationship on the challenge is not good. Theo wants to go against Paulie. Leroy speaks on his son and daughter that he left after she was born for 2 weeks. CT is thinking about putting Darrell up with Mark. We get to the chamber and honestly, I'm like, why are they stretching this out? I'm not really understanding it. Derek volunteers to go against Mark. Wouldn't have been me. Not for $1 million. I ain't volunteering over nothing. And then only to have Darrell say that he wouldn't do that for Derek is crazy to me. Ryan chooses that he wants to go up against Brandon. Brandon laughs like, I don't know why you picking me. Brandon, you haven't been on a challenge in a very long time. You was just on All Stars. That's cute, but you didn't perform on her. What are we talking about her? Tony tells Corey to get rid of Jordan to Jordan's face, and Jordan's like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm loyal, and I have a history of being loyal. Do you really? Didn't you go against what's that boy name that I don't like? Is Josh Fessy? Didn't you go against Fessy? Like you went against Fessy. Anyways, I like Jordan. I don't really care what he does. I was about to say something because I know who makes it to. Never mind. Anyways, Nerese says she wants to go against Olivia. Now this was sickening. Now I need Kylan, baby daddy. I need Kylan to reach out to Nerese, and I need a thing with Nerese because this was sickening here. Nerese was like, Casey, you're well-rounded. I respect you. I don't really know you too well. You haven't done anything wrong to me. I respect you. I don't want to go up against you. Then it was like the only options that I have is Jenny and Olivia. Jenny, I don't really know you, so I can't like really have any allegiance towards you or whatever, so it's no shade or whatever. You know, if I really had to choose, I would just pick Olivia only because I know what she's capable of, and I would feel more comfortable going against her. And no shade, but she did me over last season. Then Michelle is like, Well, I don't know because I just want you to understand like the way you feel about Horacio is the way that I feel about Olivia, and I'll feel horrible if I didn't try to fight for Olivia to stay in this game. And Nurys was like, well, no shade. The only reason why we're even sitting here is because y'all fucked me over last season, and you were the reason why she went against me. Now, had this went a different route, it would be no way that I would pick her. And we already know that, Nurys, because you saved her on that season when she went against you. You saved her. Right. So Nurys is like giving it up. Like, I don't really care what you gotta say. It is what it is. Y'all owe me. Let's run it. And in my mind, I'm like, baby, let's run her. Let's run her, baby. Let's run her. And then baby daddy come on screen like, save me with the tears. This is exactly what you did between Kylan and her, myself, Kylan. You know, not myself, but Kylan and Horacio. Baby daddy, Kylan. This is what you did with Horacio and Kylan over and over and over again. So spare me with the tears. And for sure, like, Michelle was like crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. But I don't care. I don't care. How dare she compare Horacio and Nurys' relationship to her and Olivia's? They gotta be effing. That's the only, because we know Horacio and Nurys in it down. We know that. We know that. You know what? I don't want to see Kylan. I don't want to see Kylan in a relationship. I don't want to see Kylan in a relationship. I really don't. I really don't. I want to hang out with Kylan. I just think Kylan would be just a good time. Not like that, y'all. Get y'all minds out of the gutter. Cut it out. I think that Kylan would be a dope ass time. I think Horacio, Nurys, Kylan, they will all be a dope ass time, and we would just. I know I would get along with Nurys, and I feel like I already get along with Kylan. Kylan already said that, you know, we could do an interview whenever. Baby, I'm here for it, baby. I'm here for it, Kylan. I'm here for you. Because I want to talk. Because how come Kylan wasn't first in his... I mean, Horacio was first, so boom. But Kylan wasn't second. Was he? I think Kylan got third or something like that. I can't remember. But he wasn't first or second. And that kind of annoyed me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he was. But anyways. So yeah, we don't get a challenge. We don't get an elimination. All we get is people trying to plead their case. And Cara was up in the chamber, you know, real poised, put together, and was like really politicking. And she was like, you know, I'm going to do something that I normally don't do. Let me bring down my defenses. Baby, shout out to Cara. But baby, the tea is with Paulie and Theo. Because Paulie got so angry. Or at least that's what it seemed. And so did Theo. And Paulie brought up this situation where Johnny Bananas, and I want to say he said Laurel, or some other chick, threw the competition in order to get Cara put into elimination. And that's just crazy to me that these people are in a world that will never, like the you and I's of the world will never ever be able to get to experience or have the experiences that they are having. And like, that's a blessing to be a part of that kind of like alumni of like reality star personalities, and to like have this career essentially that you can make to keep challenging and keep going forward. It's just a beautiful thing. But over the years, they've built these friendships. I be seeing them go into these events and these like challenge tournaments, meeting the fans and the interviews and all of that. And they're all like a part of this massive group of people that are part of this legacy thing on entertainment television. It's just so awesome and surreal. But Johnny and Laurel just staring at Cara talk is just weird to me. In my mind, I'm like, there's not enough amount of like politicking that Cara can do to not be thrown in my mind. I'm thinking she's going to be thrown in. But whatever. I wish they could have at least said who was going to be thrown in if they weren't going to give us an elimination. But anyways, who do you think are going to be thrown in? And who do you think is coming back? Leave your comments below. And did you like this particular episode? I liked her. I just wish we had at least the first half of elimination so we could be, you know, pumped. Because every episode should consist of the opener, a little house drama, the challenge, a little bit of politicking, the votes, and then the elimination. Every freaking episode, it should be that way. Why it wasn't that way this time, I don't know. It was a lot to get through, I guess. But whatever. It's 40 fucking people. Leave your comments below. Love you. Deuces.